What's going on, everyone? My name is Myles Farrington. I'm joined by my co-host tonight.
Adam Leonard!
And Harry Loizides.
Yeah, you don't get a special intro this time because I don't want to mess up your name again, and because you've been here before. Uh,
Yes.
But yes, this is MONG Podcast, episode 166. I'm still dying, but it came from beyond our dreams. But yeah, before we get into the meat of things, as per usual, let's go over the weekly site highlights, the stories that went up while we were away. PlayStation Experience is happening. Wait, was that today?
Tickets for
Oh, okay,
camp.
tickets. All right. I should probably read the whole title if I'm going to talk about it. Yeah, the tickets went live today, and there's going to be more to talk about that later. On top of that, Walking Dead: A New Frontier Episode 1 review has been put up, as well as a review for Spellspire, both by our guest currently, Harry.
Hair, yeah.
And, of course, A New Frontier Episode 2 review as well by our dear Harry. And Jesse Webster brought us news of the Far Cry 5 trailer. Darius Purse, of course, sticking to his wheelhouse of fighting games. Red Hood has come out to Injustice 2. And Brett Williams talking about Destiny 2's familiarity. I can't speak tonight. Familiarity. No, it didn't even come out right. Someone say that word.
You're getting closer.
Just say the word.
Familiarity.
There you go.
There we go.
I don't know why I can't say that. But it's essential and not disappointing. And it's true. Destiny 1 was really nice. Anyway, beyond that, we're always looking for more writers and artists, if you can make art, or if you want to make music or videos or whatever. If you think you have a neat talent that Mong could use, definitely check out that link at the bottom of wherever you're watching or listening to hit that recruitment page and get recruited, possibly, probably, who knows. It's up to that. I'm pointing up there, but he's down here, that guy right there. But yeah, definitely send in your application. We'd love to read it and see if you can join the Mong team. And beyond that, we have a Discord for the fans. If you want to jump in there, that's also a good place. If you want to leave a thought from nowhere, there's a very specific text channel for that, so you can jump in there and toss it there, and I'll see it. And beyond that, gentlemen, Adam, what's been going on in your life this week?
Not a lot. Basically, been just kind of continuing the Kingdom Hearts train. Finished Kingdom Hearts 1. That game is harder than you would think it is at points.
No, I thought it was pretty hard when I played it.
Particularly towards the end, it's kind of a bit of a grind. But some of those final sequences have a lot of tough enemies, one right after the other. At first, thought I was going to be super noble and try to beat all of the Kingdom Hearts games, and then I played about an hour of one of the spin-off games, and I'm not going to beat all of the Kingdom Hearts games, so I promptly picked up two.
Which one killed that for you?
It's the one where they're wandering around the castle and it's a card game.
Oh, I thought that one
Birth
was,
by Sleep?
Yeah, it was I didn't dislike it, but I was like, do I really want to play 20 hours of this and then 20 hours of another game and then finally get to Kingdom Hearts 2, and especially when there's a list of other stuff I want to play this year. So eventually I said, okay, I'm just going to get to Kingdom Hearts 2 here. And it's kind of interesting to play them back to back because Kingdom Hearts 2 is such an improvement over Kingdom Hearts 1 in pretty much every conceivable way.
That's good. What was your favorite improvement between the two?
Well, for one, the fact that the party member that's not in your party actually gains experience and levels. That's one of my all-time pet peeves is a game that forces you to choose your party but basically goes, but whoever you don't pick is going to kind of get left behind here a little bit. But just everything about it, it's the combat is just much improved and much smoother. Mm-hmm. My biggest gripe, the gummy ships are actually playable in the second one. I'd completely forgotten what that was like in the second game, and the redesign is so slick that I think it's a far more enjoyable experience. It's just like a game. It's just exactly what a sequel should be. It's they basically took what worked and made it work even better, and then found the problems and just kind of overhauled it. And yeah, so I've been playing that, though. I think I may be slowly easing myself into a Kingdom Hearts burnout, and I might need to find something else to occupy my time for a little bit.
Maybe, but I mean, at least you have 10 years before the third one comes out.
Yeah.
According to the news this week, somewhere within 3 years. And it seems there's a lot of debate over what that means exactly.
How do you debate over that?
I mean, well, it's kind of interesting because I read an article from our major league team, Dual Shockers. Anyways, yeah, apparently they had some really interesting information where they kind of really gripped into what that meant exactly. And so apparently they said that Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 7 and stuff should be out within the next 3 years or so, but they're kind of pointing out that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna be 3 years. It's just saying we have the slate of games that are gonna be coming out within 3 years. So we'll see. I mean, it's still going to be a long time. I in no way think that we're going to go to we're going to see Sony's conference at E3 and surprise, Kingdom Hearts is coming out in December. That's not happening.
Yeah, no.
Late next year at the very best, in my opinion, if not later than that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it comes out sooner than later, just so people can stop talking about it. But I guess it's just becoming the next Last Guardian for me. But that's neither here nor there.
It'll probably be better than Last Guardian, to be fair.
Yeah, hopefully it's better reception, I hope.
Yeah. I'll be very disappointed if I waited this long and Kingdom Hearts 3 is mediocre.
Let's hope for your sake it's not. Harry, what's been going on with you, bud?
I've been a busy beaver in terms of review land. Been working on the Walking Dead: A New Frontier, all 5 episodes. I got the the first 3 out today. I mean, up until today. Played the 4th one, pretty good, much better than the 3rd one. I think the 3rd one was okay. Significant dip from the first 2 episodes in terms of story, quality of visuals and technical achievements and everything like that. Like I said, 4 was much better than the 3rd one, and then the 5th one came out today, so I'm hoping to knock that out tomorrow, get all the reviews out, and then end of season review for all those. And then I've also been playing Spellspire on the PS Vita, so that is pretty much like a spell RPG game mixed with words that you have to generate, words. I forgot the word for that. Create your words with letters game. So kind of like Word Quest. I think that was the game that came out a couple months ago on Vita. It's fun. It's a very simple kind of game that, if you like those spell games, oh my god, I can't talk. I'm just like Myles today. If you like the games that you need to generate words, this is an awesome fit. And then if you like the light RPG mechanics, it's even better. I think I gave it a 7.2. It was good, but the repetition really pulled from the enjoyment of it. And it was just so grindy, which I guess is typical RPG fashion, but it was just to the point of this is almost not fun anymore.
That sounds like a very odd mix of genre, like grindy RPG, and you're going to be typing and spelling words for the next 15 hours.
Yep, it was fun, but then after spelling higher theory, probability 2,800 times, it got okay, there's only so many words I can think of without losing.
Well, I mean that was an indie game, right? So I mean,
yeah, it was from 10 Ton Games. So same guys who made Neon Chrome. If you guys like that game, which was good, I think in PS4 I gave it an okay a couple months ago, and then the Vita one was a slightly better version of that.
I feel like they probably were doing something very bold because no one likes playing spelling games anymore. I don't know if anyone liked to in the very beginning. Let's be honest, but I mean it's an interesting idea, but yeah, it's ballsy making a game in this day and era that's about spelling, because let's face it, a lot of people in this day and age don't know how to spell properly. So
yeah, as a teacher, I can know the woes of that, the yours versus the yours, or I can't even think of how many mistakes students make. Yeah, which is silly for us to complain about that, but or the word vocabulary itself, I'll spell wrong. I'm face palms. So
Yeah.
It's always funny. And I think, like you said, this is a very niche game where if you like those word spelling games, you're gonna probably like this game. So there'll be a nice cluster of people hemorrhaging for that. But if you are not at all interested in spelling vocabulary, quickly not making mistakes, then you're not gonna really like it. It might not be the game for you.
Yeah, it sounds like a tough sell for most people, honestly.
Yeah. But I liked it, so I gave it a good review. It was nice. A good, in the middle of nowhere rating.
Well, what I've been doing this week is I've been preparing for Destiny 2, and I don't believe anyone in here follows me on Instagram, mainly because I don't really use it. But I did buy some fresh new things for a not so fresh PC, even though my PC is actually pretty good. Got a SSD.
Ooh.
Got some RAM.
Oh.
And the piece de resistance, this nice 1070 graphics card. So.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'll be able to play Destiny looking real pretty once it comes out. Whenever it comes out on PC, since apparently it's not going to be the same day it releases on everything else, that's neither here nor there, and I'm not angry about that at all.
Did they confirm that? I thought they were saying they weren't announcing anything about it yet.
From what I remember, I read an article that said that excuse me, I have to cough in mic this time. That article about one of the executives for Activision had said that it was going to be delayed on PC. And apparently a lot of people still are not believing that. So maybe the article I read was incorrect, or maybe something came out after that I didn't see. And I hope that's not the truth, because of course I would like to play it day one on my PC. But, you know, I'm still going to play it on PC regardless. And then speaking of Destiny, I'm actually supposed to be starting a playthrough with someone who has never played it before. So that's going to be neat. And I also started playing, Warhammer End Times Vermintide on PC. It's
very cool.
Yeah, it's a fun little game. It's pretty much just Left 4 Dead in the Warhammer, not 40K, Warhammer Fantasy universe. So yeah.
So Vermintide, do you like take on like wave after wave of rats?
Yeah, the rat people, the Skaven, in the Warhammer lore.
Yeah. Okay, so I was trying to be a smartass, but it actually is Okay, yeah. That's cool.
That backfired.
Yeah, I have no idea what the story is so far, just because, I don't know, I just really enjoy that playstyle of Left 4 Dead and stuff, where it's just like, alright, you get tossed on a map, you need to get to the end of it, you need to complete the objective, and you have a team of 4 people, and that's pretty much it. And I like Warhammer Fantasy, so it's an interesting little melding. It's definitely not as fleshed out, I feel, because like it's more fleshed out than Left 4 Dead, but not as fun, I guess, because it's got RPG mechanics where you can roll and get new weapons and junk at the end of every mission, but at the same time, it doesn't have interesting things that you can pick up while you're on the mission. So I would definitely suggest trying it if you want to play a game that's like Left 4 Dead and you got friends to play it with.
I have to confess, kind of on a similar note to that, I keep on giving Friday the 13th the side eye. Like at first I was like, well, I could probably wait until this goes down in price, but I kind of feel like my willpower decreasing on that one. That I kind of feel eventually I'm just going to eventually bite, because I really, really love horror movies, and like slasher movies are like my favorite type of movie. And so this game, in theory, is like the game I've been waiting for.
Honestly, I watch people play it. It looks good. I'm debating getting it myself, and the only thing that's stopping me is that it's $40.
Yeah, it's a bit pricey.
Yeah.
It looks good, but am I understanding that? And though it sounds like some of it's being patched now, but it sounded like it needed a little bit of work. But I have a feeling maybe even tonight I might break down and finally break myself off a piece of that.
Well,
nice, do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the best asymmetrical game right now, because it's got less problems than Dead by Daylight, I think. And, Evolve's not even a player or contender anymore, so there you go. And there's one Jason, I don't know if you can still get him, but he's it was the Jason Goes to Hell Jason, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got he looks really cool. He's got glowing eyes and a bunch of
that
one. I saw that for the first time the other day. I was like, I don't know what that is, but that looks awesome and kind of
Nice.
makes me want to play this, even though I don't know if I'll ever play him.
Oh, I know I don't plan on playing it just because I'm a total wimp. So I'm going to look from afar. If something looks too creepy, I'm going to exit out before the zombies get me or whatever.
I take it you did not play Until Dawn either, then, Harry.
Oh, no. I played, what was it? The PS4, like, indie-ish game that was like Emily something.
Yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about.
I played like
Emily's
maybe...
Away?
Not Emily's
No.
Away. That's the PC game.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look it up. But there was a PS4 game that was like $4 on the Halloween sale. And I'm like, you know what? Let me test my boundaries. And it was like thunder and lightning and the power went out
Emily
in like the
wants to
first
play.
4 minutes. And yeah. And then I'm just like, nope. I'm going to X this out, not think about it because I'm going to have heart palpitations.
I did not know that was on PS4, honestly.
Let me find the name because it's going to bother me now. But we'll keep talking and I'll
Emily wants
blurt
to play.
out something. Yeah.
No, that's the name of it.
Emily steps away.
Emily wants to play.
Oh, wants to play. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game.
Ooh.
I've seen some playthroughs of that game. It's spoopy and kind of unfair. That's my review of it.
Yeah. It just was creepy. I didn't see her. I just knew she was somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me just not have a horrible day.
So once again, PT was like a hard no from you.
Oh, I never even got a chance to look at it before it was gone.
I mean, honestly, if you think about it, at this point, I feel like most people who have PS4s at this point did not get a chance to play that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure.
true.
The vast
Which is-
majority didn't get to.
Yeah, it's kind of sad if you think about it, because that was an interesting thing, a very interesting idea that would have probably been pretty good, but poof.
Just because we haven't said it in like a couple of months, way to shit the bed, Konami. Or is it?
Konami.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's Konami. Okay.
I think, right? I hope so. Konami v.
Well-
Kojima, right?
Yeah, well, now we got Death Stranding, and that'll come out in 2083, so that'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be,
Well, hopefully we see something at E3 because, to be fair, we've been fairly Kojima-less as of late. We've been derelict in our Kojima duty.
that's true. And, at E3, we're just going to see another trailer that doesn't actually explain anything, that just is going to be exactly what it is
yeah.
every time, where it's like, I don't know what's happening, I want to play this game more, and I now have a new song to put on my iPod. Because that's
It's
what's
just-
really
they're
happening.
They're gonna add like another random celebrity. It's gonna be like Harrison Ford's in it or something like that.
Why not?
Oh, man. Wouldn't that be something?
He'll just be crashing a plane and then walking out of the explosion.
Oh.
It's not too early. It's not too soon. It's been months since that
No.
happened.
They made a joke about that at Star Wars Celebration, though, so I think we're fine.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. There you go. All right, gentlemen, let's go ahead and jump into.
The news from nowhere.
Thank you, Deckard Kane. Our first story technically comes from me, but is actually coming from Harry, because I believe in transparency. But we're looking into issues users are having getting tickets to this year's E3 experience. Stay tuned for updates that is pertaining to. Go ahead, Harry. You know more about this than I do.
Sure. So last year, Sony hosted a few PlayStation E3 experiences where they rented out theaters, like either movie theaters or larger theaters, where fans of Sony can go and watch the E3 presentation live with several hundreds of other fans. This year, they blew it up into over 85 theaters. Tickets were supposed to go on sale. Now, these tickets are free, mind you. That's a free event, first come, first serve with the ticket. So it's a cool, like, fan servicey thing. And Kyle Stephenson, who is one of our writers, he went last year, loved it. So I kind of said, all right, let me explore this. Let me see if it's going to work for me. And it was 1:00. I didn't teach that time. And I'm like, this is perfect. Let me go on the website. And the website crashed. I'm like, all right, maybe it's the school's website. Maybe it's my unfortunate luck. So then an hour goes by, 2 hours goes by. I start texting some people and be like, are you getting any tickets? They're like, no, the website's been funky. And this website, GoFobo, the first time I've ever heard this website, so GoFobo, was in charge of doing all these tickets. And it has still not been able to allow people to get their tickets. So this is just like a huge like WTF moment to fans, to Sony, because this is supposed to be the time that they were all going to get excited. And now, who knows, at like maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, it's going to go up, and then all the strange people who don't sleep will be able to get their tickets, while the people who plan their days around the time that Sony said, now it's not going to be a possibility. So, I mean, at least for me at this point, like, I really don't care if I go or not, because this has been like such a misappropriation of responsibility. So it's just like a strange thing that I don't know what's going on. And we're probably not going to find out until maybe 2 or 3 days after the fact.
Well, I didn't even know that it was free. I didn't even know that it was happening on such a large scale. I'll go ahead and be honest. Sounds like something I would have liked to have gone to, but knowing my job and schedule, I probably wouldn't have been able to. But I will go ahead and say it amazes me to no end how big companies don't ever seem to be prepared for things like this. Like the Destiny, the last DLC release for Destiny, it took them like 8 hours or some ridiculous amount of time for them to get the servers like settled so people could actually get in. Like it went to the point where there was a waiting line to get in, and I was one of the people that got in on like release, luckily. So I got in, 3 hours late, but I got in. Whereas other people were waiting until the middle of the day, and I just like I don't understand. You would think that big companies would be like planning for stuff like this, you know?
Right.
Like,
Well, I mean, maybe they always lowball it to gauge expectations, so which is dumb. I'm not agreeing.
Yeah.
But maybe they're saying, all right, we'll get 5 million people. And maybe if it crashes, that means we have so many people. Like, maybe that's how they want to spin it. But ultimately, it's just poo-poo in their face. And it just kind of doesn't make anyone happy at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's never a good look. It's like you can't... They will never be able to spin it as a positive that their stuff crashed when a lot of people are trying to access it. And this GoFobo website, if this was Sony trying to help them out and get them exposure, this ain't the right type of exposure.
Yeah, I don't know why they chose this website. I don't know if maybe Sony owns this website too. Like, there's a lot of factors I'm not really sure. I kind of tried looking into it before we started speaking, but I couldn't find any reason why they would pick this. I don't know why they didn't pick Ticketmaster or just didn't do something on their own website. Like, a lot of very simple things in my thought process could have been at least resolved, or at least been in their court and say, yeah, we messed up and all this other stuff, as opposed to we're looking at this random website as to why it's not working. Because if it's a small rinky-dink website trying to look at tens of thousands of people trying to load it at the same time, okay, then it's no big surprise why it crashed. So it's just very unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. And if it matters to you, their site is back up. I don't know how deep it's going to go, though, because I'm just on the homepage.
Yes, I am looking into it now.
Okay.
So if I'm able to get my ticket, I will be very excited. But I'm gauging expectations because maybe that's where it crashes, like when we try doing that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, do you have any thoughts?
It sucks for the people that are really wanting to go. Because it's not coming to my town. It's coming pretty close because Portland, Oregon's about an hour and a half, 2 hours from where I live. But that's a little further that I would be willing to drive just to go watch a conference in a movie theater.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have E3 plans. I dutifully took Monday off from work, so I plan to be just like glued to my couch all day watching video game coverage. And when 6 o'clock rolls around, I plan to have like a pizza or something in front of me, so that I can. Yeah. It's like E3 Monday is kind of a big deal to me, man. It's basically kind of like Christmas.
Nice.
It's less Monday now, though, because if you notice, they started spreading themselves out over the entire weekend.
Yeah.
So, because I think like EA is going like Saturday, and then like Microsoft and Bethesda are Sunday, leaving us just like I think mainly Ubisoft and Sony, and I think like the PC showcase on Monday. Then of course Nintendo Tuesday, but
Yeah.
The Sony conference is the one that I'm most excited for.
Yeah, and the Devolver's in there too somewhere. I think they're Saturday. I could be wrong, but
Are they okay?
they're on the weekend,
Mm.
so they're either Saturday or Sunday sometime.
I'm sad because I just realized I'm working that Monday, so you know.
Mm.
I hate this job. Anyway, so we ready to move on to the next story, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, this was a far cry from the subject matter of this one.
Uh,
Far Cry 5 release date announced. First story details revealed. After a week of video and art teases, Ubisoft has finally revealed more about Far Cry 5, including when it will be available. Far Cry 5 will hit PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on February 27th, 2018. With development led by Ubisoft Montreal, Far Cry 5 will allow players to explore the entire open-world in-game version of Montana alone or in two-player co-op. The franchise's map editor will also return for Far Cry 5 with new features that Ubisoft promises. More details are coming soon. Additionally, PS4 players will get a free in-game skin pack with purchase. Aside from the release date and first trailer reveal, Ubisoft has also offered new deals about the sequel's story. Players will take on the role of a new junior deputy in Hope County, Montana, where players will become embroiled with an attempt to take over the county by the Project at Eden's Gate, a doomsday cult. Players will have to form their own resistance while being cut off from the outside world, leading to a fight across farms, forests, mountains, and rivers of Montana. Playable vehicles will include American muscle cars, big rig ATVs, boats, and planes. The Junior Jeopardy and their fight to survive will also be able to recruit human and animal groups, guns, and fans for hire, respectively, to aid in combat. Ubisoft confirmed Far Cry 5 earlier this month, along with a new Assassin's Creed and The Crew 2 coming to this company's current fiscal year. So I was never super interested or intrigued by the Far Cry games. I played Far Cry 4. It had a really good time, but it wasn't something like I played day one or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I am really excited for this game. This game sounds cool. This game also sounds like it's going to be very, very controversial because basically, from what I could see, basically the bad guys are fundamentalist Christians here.
Did you say it's gonna be? Because it is already.
Yeah, I mean, okay, it is already, but this basically this plot and this location is far more interesting to me than some just random kind of fake foreign country, because it looks like this is a game that may very well be about what
Fake foreign countries.
What
Only America. Only America.
Well, isn't where Far Cry 4 took place? That wasn't a real country, was it? It was supposed to be kind of modeled after.
I don't know. The statement just hit me as very funny. Continue.
To be fair, I wasn't trying to be ignorant. I'm pretty sure that Far Cry 4 is based in a false country that's supposed to resemble several different countries.
No, I think you're right, Adam, and I think Myles
based.
is mildly losing his mind. So
no, I just thought it was funny. All right, that's all I said.
But anyways, this is very interesting because this is bringing it on home. This sounds like this is potentially going to be a game very much about its time, like the time it exists in. Yeah. Like I said, it's going to be controversial, but that's also probably going to mean that it has the potential to be very successful. Yeah, and I'm really excited about it. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for it. There's also some really awesome character trailers that showcase some of the allies that you're going to have on your side during the battle. But yeah, like I said, I'm really excited about this game. This game, Far Cry, went from being something that was more or less only slightly on my radar to this. As long as this game doesn't completely shit itself, this is a day one purchase for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think in terms of controversy, this isn't the only game that we've seen in the past that has been pretty controversial. Like Mafia 3 had lynch mobs, and you were seeing black men being hung, and it was all this crazy stuff. So I think I like the phrase you used, Adam. This is going to be a kind of a product of its time. What is the reaction going to be in this era of the U.S. that is very split down the middle, and you're either super red or super blue, and if you're not exactly what I'm thinking of, you are an idiot. I'm curious how that angle is going to go with the game, whether or not the creators intended it, which I don't think they did, because that was maybe 3 years ago, so I don't think they kind of forecasted what political climate we're going to be in, but I think they wanted to change it up with all those imaginary countries, made it in the U.S. to say we're grounded in on some sort of reality that is different than the other games, and time will tell whether or not it's going to be worthwhile to play.
Sure.
Okay, so let's go ahead and since we're talking about Far Cry 5, it already is controversial for really dumb people. Because let's be honest, the people that have problems with this are probably kind of dumb. But I'm just gonna read this excerpt from the petition that has already been up, demanding that Ubisoft not make Far Cry 5.
LOL.
Yeah. Enough is enough, Ubisoft. We've sat through your multicultural lectures and your preachy games aimed at degenerates and misgenitors. Alright. I can't say that today. We've tolerated it in the name of gameplay design and innovation, but no more. Far Cry 5 is an insult to your fan base, the Americans who make up the majority of your customers, and it's time you woke up to the fact. Change this or cancel it.
I want to fact check half of this petition.
Yeah, I read something that indicated this might be a joke.
Okay, it
could be.
But it's also dumb enough that I would believe it to be real.
That's true. I can't deny that fact.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. If it is real, well, apparently the majority of their fan base are Christian extremists who live in Montana.
Yep.
Good luck raising a fuss, because it kind of seems like when it comes to being culturally diverse, it kind of feels like Ubisoft has got some rocks a little bit just from the general line of stuff they've done.
Yeah. They let you kill everyone, so it's like everyone gets a turn.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like this is a group, not to try and start any fires. This is a group that has not really been touched on in games, I don't believe, except for maybe in Outlast. Like Outlast 2, maybe, if you count that. But that was something else completely. Yeah.
I had somebody pointed out BioShock Infinite as being having a similar kind of type of villain.
Okay. I can see that, but I'm assuming no one had problems with that because, those people were sky people. They're not real. They don't believe in our good Lord Jesus Christ.
Well, that might be exactly the issue, because if I live in Montana and I'm not super Republican, am I going to take offense to this game?
I feel like you shouldn't take offense to something if it's not you. I mean, I know that's hard to say, and I mean, I'm sure I have had situations before where I believe that that's kind of difficult to abide by, but it is kind of true. If it's not you and you know it's not you, then it's like, all right.
Yeah. Okay. So counterpoint. What if people in California have this certain mindset about New Yorkers? I'm a New Yorker, so if I meet them and they think lowly of me because of their perception of New York, shouldn't I be annoyed by that?
You should feel sorry for them for being a piece of crap that makes assumptions on other people before actually getting to know them.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Grand Theft Auto, one of the Grand Theft Auto games is already generalized, Harry.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of games that generalize New Yorkers, so I've already lost.
Or have you won? Because no one's going to mess with you on the streets now.
Oh, they know not to mess with Harry, so...
Now, and I also want to speak to the game, to be honest, to be fair to the game too, is that, I do use a word fundamentalist Christian, but to be fair, there's nothing that's actually explicitly stated that they're Christians. All we know is they're a cult. Yeah. And I think you just kind of draw the assumption when you hear it's in Montana and it's a group of extreme cult members, you kind of just assume that's what's going on. Yeah. But to be fair, we don't know that for sure because nothing has explicitly been said that indicates that fact.
It's true. Very true. And everyone's jumping to conclusions. Also, I'm sure it doesn't help that they have the American flag on. I'm pretty sure people are probably calling them Christians because they're doing the Last Supper pose in the picture.
Oh, well, that is a little more overt.
Yeah, so they're probably Christians. Let's be honest. So, are we ready to move on to the next thing?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and jump on in, Harry.
Sure. So the next thing that we're going to chat about is Nintendo theme park, and is there going to be real life Mario Kart? So IGN wrote an article, I think earlier today, looking into the trademark that they are going to have the official name be Super Nintendo World, which is going to be the Universal part of, which is going to be the Nintendo part of the Universal parks in Hollywood, in Osaka, Japan, and Orlando. And one of the things that they wrote in the trademark was they're going to have management or arrangement of kart racing. So this sounds awesome. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like what the Disneyland ride that you race those little cars only with Mario Karts. I think this is going to be a hot event. Like, I would be very excited if I was a young child and or adult to try this out. Yeah, and they also went on to say that they're going to have Christmas tree decorations, a plethora of restaurants, apparel, and they're going to have a Super Nintendo World hotel. So that's going to just kind of fuel the partnership that Universal and Nintendo are having with this worldwide incorporation of each other.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of theme parks, but if I can have someone throw a blue shell at me and like dying. Excuse me for one moment.
So while Miles is dying,
I'm back.
Adam, what do you think about Nintendo?
So opposite of Miles, Adam is like the biggest theme park fan. Like quite literally, like just a piece of background information. I actually worked for Disney World for a while. I am super excited about that because I love Nintendo, and Universal Studios is doing pretty much like some of, if not the best theme park stuff right now. The Harry Potter stuff they've done is just like kind of mind blowing, and so they are doing really good work with the properties that they get. And I think they're going to do some amazing stuff with Nintendo if and when they finally get around to making it. I kind of hope instead of it being like kind of a traditional kart type of thing, I kind of want it to be like a dueling roller coaster. Perhaps like an indoor coaster, especially so you could build out some of like the surreal and kind of wonderful locales that inhabit Mario Kart.
Very cool idea. I didn't even think of that, something like that. So kind of like Space Mountain almost, but with Nintendo?
Yeah, actually, I would since it's like Mario Kart, I think it'd be cool to design a coaster that basically like the coaster goes along the track, but the car itself can spin. So that's kind of what I'm seeing is kind of a new customized roller coaster. That's just kind of like armchair, kind of like what I think, but I think that would probably be the best utilization for Mario Kart. Like I said, I'd definitely love to see it indoors because I want to see like weird pipes and bright colors and all that good stuff jumping out at you, perhaps.
You want to just kill everyone on the roller coaster, just make it Rainbow Road.
Any version.
Like real pie in the sky, it might be cool if they also use some of the kind of like laser tag technology that they've been like starting to utilize in some rides that are like interactive rides. Because it'd be really cool if you could like fire off stuff at like other like the other coaster, and you could make those compartments spin or something by hitting them. But whatever Universal's going to do, though, it's going to be really good because, like I said, Universal's just kind of killing it. They've been working really hard to try to become a viable competition to Disney, and I'm just incredibly excited to see what comes of this joint venture.
Yeah, it's a very neat idea, and I'm sure it's going to bring in a lot of people. I was just going to say it would be interesting if it was a cart ride and you could throw shells and items at people, not actually throw them, but if there was some kind of VR integration where you had a blue shell, you shot at someone and deactivated their card for a little bit or something like that.
Yeah, that would be very dynamic, and maybe I think what Adam was saying with the dueling roller coasters, somehow we can affect what items are being used on the other roller coaster or something, so that we can eventually figure out, all right, which one was the winner.
Yeah.
Right.
So, if you've noticed, I've been leaning forward. It's because I've been inspecting this Far Cry 5 picture for a little bit, And I'm sorry, I kind of want to go back to this. For one, I think the main character's in the picture in some capacity, and for two, they're definitely Christians because they have sinner painting on people and like on the background and junk. And also, the you played through the Hearts of Stone DLC, right? In Witcher 3.
Oh yeah.
Did you notice that one of the characters looks exactly like Ogrim? Is that what his name is?
Oh, well, I guess no real spoiler because the game's been out forever. The
Yeah,
mole guy.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the characters looks exactly like him. And last but not least, the level of Photoshop in this picture is bothering me the more I look at it. That, like, I'm seeing so many things that are like, that's just a picture of a real thing they put in there. But beyond that, I'm sorry for making us like backtrack to that, but I was just looking. But yeah, Nintendo theme park.
Yeah, cool stuff. And they are hoping that it gets done in the Japan one by 2020, right in time for the Olympics.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's smart marketing. It just thinks that we have to wait that much longer because it's going to be a while.
Yeah. Big money.
Yes.
You know what else is big money?
Near Automata shipments, digital sales surpass 1.5 million. Worldwide shipments and digital sales for Near Automata have crossed the 1.5 million mark. Square Enix touted the new sales milestone in a post of the official Japanese Nier Twitter account. Following its debut in Japan this past February, the PS4 version of Nier Automata launched in North America and Europe on March 7th and March 10th, respectively, which was followed by PC on March 17th. In April, Square Enix announced that shipments and digital sales of Nier Automata eclipsed 1 million units worldwide. And then that's basically it. That's cool. I'm glad for them. Platinum Games, has been working hard for some time. They've put out a lot of good games that maybe didn't become quite as big as they deserve to be. So it's cool that this game is doing so well. I really want to play this game. This game is definitely on my list of things to play once I've cleaned up some of the stuff I'm working on right now. This also made me realize as I was kind of looking through that this has been like a really big and very like special year for games. But the thing that I kind of pick out from that is that when you look at these these like big swinging games so far this year, the games that have been critical darlings, we have stuff like Neo, we have Horizon Zero Dawn, we have Persona 5, we have Zelda, and we have Nier. Ouch, Microsoft. Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really makes me interesting. By the way, Platinum is also the people who were working on Scalebound until Microsoft canceled it. It makes me good. Sorry.
No, they've been all over the place. So, like, I don't know. I think like enough of us have been saying like I don't know what type of flavor I'm getting with Platinum. Sometimes it's gonna be awesome. Sometimes it's gonna be trash. I thought this was a good sign, getting 1.5 million downloads.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. There's a lot. I'm still processing this.
The reviews have all been really good. It also really makes me wonder what Microsoft is going to come out with at their press conference in a couple weeks here, because they're kind of getting like thwacked from pillar to post when it comes to like exclusives right now.
Well, they don't have any. Like, that's
exactly. They cancel them and other things.
Yeah.
So, like, if they want me to buy a Scorpio, what other than the games I already have looking better, what else are you going to have? And maybe for some people that's enough, but for me, that's definitely not a must-buy impulse. Oh, it looks better. The same exact game I have on PS4. Oh, I'm going to buy it now for $800 or whatever. No.
Don't worry, everybody. Cuphead's going to come out someday.
Oh, well, the more I don't hear about that, the more I'm concerned, because wasn't a major issue with all the previews saying that it's really pretty, it's really hard, but there's no gameplay mechanic other than the bosses. So maybe they just went from the ground up, restarted it, or it's just going to be one of those quiet things that never happens.
Yeah. It's just also you just have to ask, like, with them trying to do the Scorpio, I think it's a really neat idea, combining their platforms essentially with the Play Anywhere thing.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't understand why you buy a Scorpio over just making a gaming PC.
I agree. Like that whole shtick of saying you could play anywhere, either on your PC or your Xbox One or your Scorpio or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're making me buy a $400 box to do the same exact thing that is worse than the PC I can buy.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's which I'm sure is the same thing as like the PC versus console dilemma. But if they are telling you you can buy this game for PC and you can get like a $600 or $700, well, I don't know price of PCs, but like an $800 PC, why not get that then?
Yeah.
But I could be totally wrong. I'm not really a PC gamer, so maybe it's much more expensive than I think.
You can get a solid rig for like $900. So
Right. So
That's
that'll
nearly
last you
twice the
longer.
cost of a potential Scorpio.
yeah, like who knows at this point?
It'll give you more things you can play, usually at cheaper prices, and it'll last longer. So it's like, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, we'll find out on June 11th, right?
Yeah. I'm still dying. But you know who's not dying, even though he's a fish out of water, even though he should be dying because he's not getting proper oxygen.
Magikarp.
There we go.
So, yeah, last Thursday, the Pokemon Company announced that and released that they're having another Pokemon game, Magikarp Jump, which is available on the App Store and Google Play. So essentially, you're training a Magikarp because in whatever region you're in, they are obsessed with Magikarp. So instead of having a Pokemon League that has specific trainers with Pokemon, they all have Magikarp. And all you do with Magikarps is have the Magikarps jump. So you train them to jump up high. You train them to increase their levels to have more vitality and everything. And it's a really weird game. I played it for a couple hours over the weekend. I don't know if I liked it. It was cute and it looks like the Ghibli giant heads, very anime style. But I don't know. This came out in Japan a while ago, and I think it might be better if it just stayed in Japan. which is heartbreaking because I'm the Pokemon guy and I love all those weird little gimmicks and everything, but this game I'm trying to find enjoyment in it and it's not really there. Other than the art style, which I love. I think the art style is beautiful. It's different. Even the logo for the Magikarp game looks like a Magikarp with the word Magikarp. So I thought that was a very cutesy wootsy thing. But I don't know if you constantly losing the Magikarp, because after a certain time, your Magikarp either retires or it just loses enough in the jumping contest and pretty much gets so embarrassed that it can't compete anymore. So that's really strange that you're training something and then it disappears. So
That's a mechanic I don't like in any video game in any capacity, where you have something that you really enjoy or is really good and it could just break or degrade. Or I'm looking at this picture where your Magikarp is getting snatched by was that Pidgeot?
Pidgeotto, yeah.
Or Pidgeotto, yeah. Yeah, because they flipped it. Dumbness. But yeah, Magikarp gets snatched right up. Goodbye, sweet Magikarp. That's kind of depressing, honestly.
Yeah, luckily I haven't had that issue in mine, but it's super annoying. It's the opposite of what you expect from a Pokemon game. You train your Pokemon and you keep it, and then you flaunt it in front of everyone's face. Yeah. This one, the whole gimmick is you train one, eventually is not good enough anymore. You release it or retire it, and then you get another one. Yeah. So I don't know. I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. I wanted to see what you guys think about it. I was thinking of doing a review on it, but I think I'm just not going to waste anyone's time on that.
It sucks that this seems to very much go against the spirit of Pokemon, because I'm looking at this one thing where if you evolve your Magikarp, it gets taken away.
Yeah, because you can only have Magikarp jump. Can't have a Gyarados jump. So it is strange, but I don't know. Maybe it'll find a nice niche. But unlike Pokemon Go and Pokemon Duels, which have been pretty popular Pokemon app games that have like good investment in terms of time and money. This one does not in either way. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like Pokemon Go still has people playing it, I'm sure someone out there is loving this because Magikarp is their favorite Pokemon, and they're like, he's finally getting the respect he deserves. I don't know why they sound like a evil man.
And their PR has been going ham on every social media on this. The acronym is not appropriate, so I'm just going to say they have been going crazy. Because it like all over Facebook, all over Instagram, all over Twitter, like they are PRing Magikarp for the past like 6 days. So they're doing a good job on PR front, but it's just the game is just very strange and very Japanese. So
yeah.
Or maybe I'm just old and I just don't understand what the kids are hip to anymore.
Well, you're playing Pokemon Go, so.
Yeah, touche. Yeah, I love Pokemon Go.
There you go. But gentlemen, you ready to move on to the free stories, even though it's just like a little speed bump this week. So the free stories this week is that Pyre from the creators, the people that made Transistor and Bastion, is releasing on the 25th for the PS4. That I just wanted to mention because those games are always really beautiful. You usually get really good marks. I mean, look at that art; it's so pretty. And on top of that, thank you. And on top of that, every time they release a new game, I get a new album's worth of extremely good music. So I hope you all support it because it actually looks pretty neat. And if you want to get it, you can like pre-order it on PS4, and you can get 20% off. It's only $20 anyway. Why not make it 18? There you go. Is that math right? No,
10% off.
Yeah. Is it 10%? I thought it was 20% off.
If it says $17.99, it would be 10% of $20. Math teacher.
No, I'm pretty sure I just did my math wrong. So I think it's like $20 and it'll be $16 afterward.
That would be 20%.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I just did the math wrong the first time.
All right, that's all good.
I should have actually linked the story so I could confirm these things that I'm saying. But I know that there is a discount if you get it now, and I know it's coming out on the 25th. And there you go. Beyond that, let's go ahead and move on to our thought from nowhere from our good old Chris Cobb. It's an interesting one this week that I'm going to have trouble answering. So, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo merged into one freakish tri-brained entity. Which brain names the console, which brain designs it, and which brain uses its IP for games? I'm going to cheat like I do on most of these things. So, go ahead, Harry.
Well, I have questions. What do we mean by design? Do we mean like the physical view of it? Do we mean the UI? Like,
I assume that the names it is literally names it. Which one has IP is literally IP, and the other one is like making the console. So I'm assuming that means the look of it, the insides, how it runs, all that good stuff.
Okay, well, here's my list. IPs, Nintendo, I think they have so many good stuff. And as a whole, I think their whole library is the best out of the three. Mostly because they've been around longer, and when they were around in the 8-bit, 16-bit, they had those classic things that are resonating with a lot of people. The design, I like Sony's design. Their UI, their presentation, their showmanship is really good. And then it's like F, marry, kill, where the last one is like the whatever. Yeah. The name, Microsoft, whatever. Do something with Xbox. Nintendo, Sony thing. Like they'll make a stupid name, Xbox, like PS Endo or something.
Yeah.
Something dumb, but it's something that's forgivable. Unlike I think the other two, like you can't have a sloppy UI, you can't have a sloppy visual, you can't have sloppy IPs. The name you can totally disregard and just call it my box that I play games on.
Yeah. So my answer is actually going to be, considering what they're supposedly doing with the Scorpio, I'm going to say Microsoft gets the which brain designs it, because supposedly the Scorpio is going to be amazing. They make computers, so why not? Screw it. As for which one has the name, it's going to be a dumb name because Nintendo is not great at naming things, but I'm going to say Nintendo. just because I personally really like PlayStation's offerings way more than Nintendo's, um, and because I don't like gimmicks, so that doesn't help Nintendo. Um, and so of course, the IP is going to be Sony. But honestly, I feel like I would prefer that they all just work together on everything. I know that's cheating, but you know, I would prefer
It
they're
is
just like,
cheating.
yeah, I don't care. I cheat on a lot of things except for relationships because that's wrong.
Mm.
But no,
PSA of the night.
yeah, PSA of the night. Now you know. For some reason you didn't.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, I think this would be an amazing thing to have happen, and I wish it would happen, even though I play on PC. Adam, what are your opinions?
Um, so I didn't necessarily read it that I had to pick utilize one of each. So Microsoft is going to get straight out boxed out of this entire situation. Because naming, I'll give it to Nintendo. Because I'm sure they'll come up with some kind of whimsical name that'll make it feel like it's something special. So I'm cool with that. As far as design goes, I'm going to give it to Sony because Sony makes a good machine. Recently, I mean, they were the first ones to integrate like a Blu-ray player into their system, so they've done some, kind of forward momentum type of stuff. The stuff they've done with some of the stuff they've done with their controllers, and also I like their interface, their UI, just a lot better than Sony's or Microsoft's.
Yeah.
So they'll get my tip for all that. And then it's kind of tough. It's really tough for IPs. I probably am going to go with Sony, and it's kind of a heartbreaker because I love Nintendo's IPs. I feel like Sony's better at creating a vast catalog of IPs that serve to different groups of people, and that's kind of why they're going to get my nod there. But if they could also make some Nintendo stuff, that'd be cool too.
There you go. I like all those answers, and it'd be cool if, well, no, it wouldn't be cool because then we have the Steam Machine dilemma. But if if we somehow got them all to combine and then like fill each equation, I guess, in different ways. So like, it's Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, in their respective slots, and just to see what would happen. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, the theories would flow.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I think we're about at that time because I have to work tomorrow, so I don't want to stay up very much later.
Same.
Fair enough.
Well, I gotta wake up super early, so.
I also have to wake up super early.
Ooh, let's do the super early contest. How early are you waking up?
I wake up at 5 a.m.
4:45. Yeah.
All right.
I live on the other side of the country, so it's much earlier here.
Oh, well, you can enjoy the rest of your night while we're all sleeping.
I don't actually get up until like 8 anyways, usually about thereabouts.
Well, don't you just live the life?
Well,
yeah, I'm halfway through work by the time you wake up, I'm sure.
It's the kind of the benefit of living in a small town. I mean, like I guess a small-ish town. Instead, I have a car and I live 15 minutes from my work. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's nice. So, I'm going to probably die midway through this, but we're going to try and make it through. We record on Tuesday nights while casting live on Twitch at MONG Plays. You should definitely be there to check it out when we're live, so you can be in the chatting with us and all that good stuff. You can email us at contact.mong@gmail.com if you have, thoughts, concerns, questions, or if you would like to send in a thought from nowhere. Or you can go onto our Discord, there's a link to it down there, and chat and send that into the channel specified for that there, because I'm probably a lot more likely to see it in one place other than the other, and I hope you can tell which one I'm talking about. But also, you can find our Mong Twitter account at mong.com. That's where everything goes up. If there's anything new for the site, so you should definitely check that out. And you can find us on YouTube at Mong Network. That's where all of our gameplay videos and podcasts go, of course. And also, we have a Facebook, a Tumblr, and an Instagram. Those are all cool and have cool things happening because cool is a word that is cool. So you should check that out. And, of course, our website, which is where everything happens, middleofnowheregaming.com. That's where all of our editorials, news, and reviews can be found. And even our videos, if you would prefer to watch them through there instead of the YouTubes. There you go. That's an alternative option. So definitely check out all that. And if you want to be awesome and help us keep the lights on, we do have a Patreon, Middle of Nowhere Gaming. We'd appreciate any help you can give us. And if you cannot help or don't want to, I still understand. We still understand. We still thank you for checking out our videos or our written pieces and all that good stuff. We appreciate you regardless of everything.
Plus, if you give like the top tier amount for Patreon, we'll track down Jordan Leffler and make him drink an entire barrel to catch up.
Oh yeah, that'll get upgrade. That got it. Does that like fall on Harry now?
Nope, it says Jordan. It does not say EIC.
I kind of feel it was his responsibility to change that before he left, so
It wouldn't be hard to track him down. I'm pretty sure I talked to him like a week or two ago.
Yeah, I mean, also, I love ketchup, so this wouldn't really be a punishment. Like, it's just like a normal Wednesday night.
I think it would still be something odd for people to watch.
Yes.
I live like an hour and a half away from him. So warning, Jordan, if we get a big donor, I'm coming for you.
Very nice.
That is a threat that the police can't answer, so be careful with that one.
Yeah, I know where you live.
But anyway, beyond that, if you want to find us, these people that are on screen right now or in your ears, on Twitter, I am Furious Milk and have been more active as of lately. Adam is.
I'm fanboy_Adam.
And Harry is.
At Il Grill Chill.
And if you don't know how to spell any of those things we just said because of that conversation we had earlier in the podcast, you can go to the YouTube video and check it out. They're on screen at all times. So definitely check that out if you can't spell or you just didn't understand what we were saying. Beyond that, I hope you all have a good night. Outros!
Bye.
I'm going to bed.